And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
I can be that tired.
Give me the brain! Seems like Steve Jackson is doing a lot of little reprints these days of older games, and this is one of those. This was originally a game by James Ernest, and it was a smaller card production. This is a much nicer looking version of it. And the theme of this game, you and your zombie co-workers have a lot of work to do, and you only have one brain to share. This is not about 7th grade, right? Oh, no. Actually, it might sound like McDonald's as it is. But basically, players in this game are all working in a restaurant. Give me that brain, I need to use it. And then someone else grabs the brain. It's a very, very silly game that is basically going to succeed or not, dependent on its humor rather than gameplay. But there is a little gameplay involved. Let's look at it, and then we'll see. So here's the brain. Now I wish that they had actually included like a squishy, rubbery brain. I mean, you need to use a die in the game, so it's kind of convenient that the brain is also a die. But I think it also would have been handy if there had been a brain and a die. So if I ever come across one, you can be sure that I'll be adding it to my set. Now, at the beginning of the game, the brain is placed in the middle of the table. No one has it. It's like my 7th grade class I teach. Now, players will have to bid to get it. So starting with one player, each player has the option to play one of these bid cards in front of them. Each card has a number on it, 12, give me the brain, and then a phrase, my tongue is stuck on the floor, or 26, my pants are on fire, 24, give me the brain, I have to use the tongue. So there's different numbers that go from 1 to 30. When you play one of these, each player has one chance to play a card. The player who plays the highest takes the brain, all the cards are discarded. Now, there, 1 through 4 also, if you notice here, has a small 31 on it. That's if you are the person who dropped the brain and you play a 1 through 4, it counts as a 31. So you can keep that in mind. Now, play will just, once someone has a brain, the game starts. Now, on your turn, you are doing jobs for this terrible place. The goal of this game, I'll just say it now because it's basically the same as Uno, is to get rid of all the cards in your hand, somehow, some way. On your turn, you either have to do at least one job from your hand, or you loaf. Loafing means either drawing a card or discarding your whole hand, drawing it back, plus one card. Either way, you get an extra card, and you want to get rid of your cards. So you try not to loaf if you can. So you want to do a job. Now everyone has 2 hands. See? I do. So most people do. Now, when you play a job, it shows how many hands that job used. Like Butterfingers here takes 2 hands. This turn ends. Whoever has the brain drops it. The bidding starts and that player is left. There you go. And that's all I can play on my turn. However, if I play 2 one-handed jobs, I can do that too. Draw a card and shake nervously. Grab the brain and draw a card. So you can see they have really handy uses. Sometimes they're not so useful, but you got to play cards that help you. Some cards like this one have a big brain on it with a number on it. That means when I play this card, I need to have the brain. That's the whole point of this game, is to have the brain so you can play it. A lot of these cards require the brain. When I play this card, after I play the card and do the action, I then need to roll the die. I need to roll that number or higher, and if I do so, I keep the brain. So let's roll. Woo! 5. I keep the brain. So obviously, the lower number, the easier it is. This one here is an easier one, and so on and so forth. Otherwise, I drop it, and it immediately starts a round of bidding. Some of the cards are called object cards. You keep those in front of you. You can't play bid cards. If you take a loafing turn, you may pass the blindfold to any other player. Ha ha ha! Interesting. So the game is going to basically revolve around the humor, both in the pictures and in the funny cards, employee of the moment. People are going to laugh at that. The game could be really short, really long, depending, but eventually someone's going to get rid of all the cards from their hand, in which case that player wins. Give me the brain. Give me the brain is a silly game where people are passing the brain back and forth. Normally, these kind of games I give a pretty heavy pass on because they're funny, but after the first time or so, they're not that funny anymore. And I'll have to admit that even with this game, I'm not going to be wanting to play it all the time. not even that much, I guess. But I won't say no if someone brings it out, because the silliness is there, it's fun and everything, but the game proceeds pretty quickly, and there is some strategy of when you play the bidding card. Am I going to take the brain at this point in time? Do I want to play my best card now, or do I want to wait till a few other people have used up their good cards and then throw these cards down? That's not a lot of strategy, because, with all the different cards in a deck and cards that let you steal the brain, it will go back and forth. But it's funny. I'm still saying a rubbery, squishy brain would have enhanced this game by quite a bit. But there you have it. If you are the kind of person who likes this style game, then you'll like this game. How's that for ambiguous? For me, not a game I'm going to play that much. But hey, it made me laugh.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.